Joshiebear plays Minecraft.
What is going on, everyone? It's Joshiebear, and we are playing the Minecraft. We are standing in what used to be the hub of all of our item storage, and as you can see, I've done a lot of clearing out. Still some work to do to get the rest of this out of here, but we have some other things that we want to do in today's episode. But before we do any of that, time for a little bit of a progress update on the new storage area. And as you can see, we've made a little bit of an addition. We have some platforms and some spiral staircases to get us up and down to a second level. I'm thinking about moving all of the barrel storage up to the second level. I've already started to replace some of that with double chests, and I think it's going to work out pretty well, as far as having the space to store the items that we want to store, and then some of the more rare items we can take up to the second level, or the things that we don't keep a lot of. Now, today's episode is going to take us back over to the jungle in Mesa, but it's first going to allow us to give you a little bit of an update on some work that we've done in the Nether. So I know I say this in every episode, but you've got to be following me on Twitch, Joshiebear Plays, because you miss out on projects like what we're about to see here. And we have started to build ourselves some ice roads to our different nether portals. Now, I don't have everything in place. We started to mess around a little bit with some design options as far as, how we're going to enclose this. Not 100% certain on how we're going to do that yet. Just, playing with some ideas, getting some things around. But we have all of the ice road that we need out to all the portals that are on this side of what will be our nether hub. I've even moved this portal to center it up a little bit just to prepare for that. And we started to run our ice road out to not only the ocean monument that we have earmarked for future projects, but also started to get out to the jungle. Not quite finished yet. We stopped just short of getting to that part of the ice road. But again, you gotta be following me on Twitch. Gotta join us for the live streams. Come hang out while we do super grindy tasks like build an ice road. So here we are at our home away from home in the jungle Mesa biomes, and I have I guess it's not really a special project, but it's one that I think is appropriate for this area, considering that the Mesa is littered with abandoned mine shafts, which at this point we've cleared out a lot of them. We also did that on a live stream. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But I thought it might be a great idea to actually build a new mining area over in this location, because, we're going to get all the same resources from our mine, but I do need to get a bunch of stone. And with the abundance of gold that generates in the Mesa biome, it only makes sense for us to build our mine here so we can take advantage of that increased resource. Now, I do need to pick a location for the mine yet, but I do want to come down here and show you a little bit of progress that we've made in our, jungle base. And that is, we now have a food source. That's right, I've built myself a little cow crusher here. I'm still trying to breed up the cows, so that way we can get the beef and the leather. And I have myself a little bit of a wheat farm. I did bring some over, which reminds me, it's probably time to come and feed these guys. But it's definitely time for us to pick a location for our new mining area. And I don't want it to be too far away. In fact, I want it to be relatively close. And I was looking out over this spot here, and there's almost kind of like a natural, almost a entranceway that is generated here in the side of this, I guess, mountainside, cliffside, one of those things. So my thought is to put the entrance to this new mine right around in this area, and just make a nice big grand entrance to the mine, and then put some things inside there, and then have some kind of entryway down to the depths, whether that be a stairway or it be like a drop chute and bubble column like we do over at the main base, even maybe an elevator of some kind. I haven't quite decided yet. But we want to do this up, but we want to do it right. So I need to gather some materials, and we'll start to dig out the entry to our new mine. So I finished collecting the wood that I wanted to collect. I got about 2.5 stacks. That should be plenty to get us started. If we need more, I can go deforest a little bit more. I also got plenty of saplings that I can plant. But the first real thing we need to do is to kind of prepare the area for what we're going to be building here. Now, mines in real life typically are like have an entryway into the side of like the mountain or the hillside that the mine is located under, or the area that it's located under. Usually you see it as kind of like either like a little roof top thing that goes underground, or it's into the side of the mountain. Since we've got these cliffs here, I'm going to do it into the side of the mountain. And I've started to dig out the area. I've got a 9 block wide area that I'm going to be digging out. Our entranceway probably won't be 9 blocks wide, but the room in which we go down into the mine shaft will be. And I think that allows me to at least have like bubble columns centered on that area so it doesn't look weird when we walk in. But I need to dig out a little bit more of this area to make sure that we have enough space. And then we'll start talking about how we can enclose it and what we want to do on the inside. So I think we've dug out enough space to get us started here. So the next thing really to do before we start decorating is to get ourselves access down to a mining level that we want to mine at, but also figure out how we're going to get up and down. And that had me thinking, we could use bubble columns. We could use like a slime block elevator if we wanted to. I don't want to do that. I want to go back to an old school method that I used in a base once that got me up and down from like a house area down to like the real base area. And it involves a minecart. So because it's a mine, because we're surrounded by the former abandoned mine shafts, I thought the minecart up and down, basically elevator, would be the appropriate way to get down there. So we'll get into that here in just a moment. But the first thing I got to do is I got to find my way down. And I think we'll come back to about here. Now, if we have to dig this out even further, we can. But I think I'll start in this area and just start digging my way down. What level are we on now? We're on Y61. Let's see here. So this is Y60. So we're at 61. Let's just start digging down. All right, so we made it down to Y11. That's exactly where I want to be for the mining. I am going to go ahead and put myself some scaffolding up here, though, to make sure that I can get myself back up and down here with ease. It'll stop eventually. Right? Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's going to take me all the way up to the top of the hole that I dug out. But I just wanted to make sure I had good access up and down before we started actually digging out an area. Because I think before we start decorating up at the top, I want to dig out a space at the bottom just so I know what I'm working with as far as the area that we're going to come down into. Because the elevator, quote unquote, or the minecart track that is going to run us up and down. Oh, I got some down there, I think. Oh, I can't see it. The minecart that's going to go up and down will actually take up an area that's about a 3x3 area. So I want to make sure that I have enough space there. And I also want to make sure I'm facing the right direction when I dig out. Because, we'll have like an entry room kind of like this at the bottom. But then we want to make sure our main tunnel goes actually into the mesa. So I've started to dig out some of the space that we're going to be utilizing down here. This 3x3 area is really like where the minecart, I guess, elevator is going to sit. We'll probably have to dig this out just a little bit more to get everything in. But I kind of wanted to make sure that I was aware of the space. And I'm actually going to do this. I brought some iron blocks. That is the middle of that section, just so I know where I want to center that. Now, as for our mining area, I guess really it's going to be kind of like a foyer room for our mine. So we just want to make sure that we dig out A bit of space here. Not too much because we do want to decorate it. So we don't want to give ourselves a huge task in here, but we also want to make sure that we have enough dugout that we can make it look nice and it not be super crowded. Well, I think this should be enough space for us to get started here. Now, it isn't rocket science what we're doing. We're basically creating a small base underground that we can use while we're mining for resources. So really just some quality of life things that need to go down here. A bed, we'll probably want an ender chest, we'll have some smelting device, whether it be furnaces or blast furnaces, and we'll also have some item storage. Now, I think with this mining area, I don't want to just set some chests down because that's typically what I do, and it just becomes a random junk chest. So I think what I'll have, and it may not be sorted, but at the top, I'll have all of our bulk item storage like stone, cobblestone, diorite, dirt, things like that. And I will have an input chest down here that will take everything up. So I don't have to go all the way up and store things, or I don't have to come all the way down here to get things from the mine if I would need it. But we'll start setting that stuff in here later. The next thing I want to do is I actually want to set down a couple shulker boxes here because honestly, I need stone. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging out ourselves a mining tunnel. So that way I at least can see, all right, this is how it's going to lay out. This is what it's going to look like. What kind of space do I have? Am I going to run into any natural obstructions like lava, or is there any caves this way that I'm going to need to be aware of as I go through a mine? Of course, we're going to want to, make it look somewhat neat as far as the main tunnel goes. Now, I do like a strip mine. Basically, where every three or so blocks, I go down and just dig as far as I can. Those tunnels don't have to look nice, but I would say the main tunnel should probably have some kind of decoration to it. So if we weren't trying so hard with this one, this would be a suitable mining area for any one of my worlds. I've basically got a long 3x3 tunnel that gives me some headspace, and then I've got my 2x2 tunnels that I would use to do my, I consider this to be branch mining, although I know in the Minecraft community, it's a little bit different than this. This might be strip mining to them, but this is because I see these as branches off of a main limb of mine. But of course, I want to dress this up just a little bit, and I did go ahead and get a bunch of oak logs here to try to do that. And I think what we'll end up doing is something like this, just kind of using the logs as like a brace around the edge here, if I can just get it right. Though I might bring those up one more block just to be on the safe side, just to give it a little bit more space to go. But it would basically be like that, and actually probably want to bring that out just a little bit. I think I'm gonna bring that out here instead. Yeah, I think that's going to suit my purposes a little bit better. Now, what we'll end up doing is this wall will actually come out just a little bit with some kind of other block just to kind of skin the wall. I might have to push these walls back even further to make sure I've got enough room for everything that I want in here. But this will be, I want to say, I'm going to do a mixture of like smooth stone and maybe the oak wood planks in here. And I might extend that out just a little bit farther. But I think once we actually get into this area, we can stop with like the decorations, because this is really the down and dirty area. This is where all of the mining is going to happen. We want the visitors to the mine to be like, oh yeah, this is a nice place. All right, yeah, I expect this to be kind of ugly. Well, since we've got a pretty good jump start on how that area is going to turn out, I think we can come back up here and start to focus our efforts on the main entrance here, the part that is going to be most visible. Now, I don't have a lot of different blocks on me at this point. I may need to put together maybe a furnace or something to get some of these blocks cooked down into maybe smooth stone. But I do need to figure out slabs. I think maybe we'll actually make some red sandstone and use that kind of as some slabs and stairs to get down into this area. Now, I think as far as the mine entrance goes, I think what we'll end up doing is actually setting it back about here. So we would have along this spot there, basically some kind of bracing with oak wood as high as we could possibly go on that side. I may have to do it from this other side here, just because I can't get up all the way there. After I figure out, how I actually want to do it, we'll end up kind of building this cliffside up some more with the terracotta that we have. So we'll do a little bit of terraforming around the top here. We'll also try to get some stone in there. Some stone in there as well. But just to make it look a little bit more like it's actually in the cliff face itself. So if we just kind of bring this across here, we got to remember, like, this outside isn't going to be visible from the inside either. So we have all of the freedom in the world to do what we need to do here. Now, if I wanted to kind of bring this out a little bit more to overhang, I could. Just because that seems like the thing to do here. It just seems like it would be a little bit more natural. Maybe make that a little bit more uneven, like this. Although I wouldn't want that red sand there. I would want the terracotta to be there instead. Yeah, so taking a look at it, I don't think that looks too bad. I do think it needs a little bit of work to kind of fit it in a little bit better. Maybe even doing something like, I do. Let's actually grab this crafting table out. Let's make us a few planks since we have them, and I'm gonna get me a few stairs. Now, I don't think that this is going to be the best solution, but I think we could do something like this to at least give it a little bit of shape. I'm trying to help make it look a little bit better as far as that goes. Yeah, it seems a little bit tall and bulky there. Maybe, it seems a little awkward. All right, so I had a thought. I think I do want to keep using the stairs, but I don't think I'm going to use them there. I think what we're going to do is we'll actually, and I'll do it on this side first just to see if I can get it to work. I need to build myself up here a little bit. But I'm thinking that maybe we could actually put the stairs on the outside like that as kind of like extra bracing. And then in the middle, we kind of do a little bit like what we've done here on the edges of our platform here, but not necessarily as ornate, maybe just kind of a few in there just to give it a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of shape, but also almost like a gate. But I think having the stairs kind of upside down facing outward like that gives that just a little bit more believability to it actually holding up that structure. So fast forward about an hour, and here is what we have. I think we have a pretty nice entrance into our mining area. Now, we do need to figure out the flooring, but I don't think we're going to do that immediately. The next step I want to take is I want to get this 3x3 hole dug out. So that way we can start to figure out the rail system that's going to go up and down. And then get the redstone in, because there is a little bit of redstone that's going to go into this. So here we have it, a big hole in the ground with a support pillar in the middle. Yeah, I made it out of iron. I may end up changing that, but I just had some iron blocks on me, so I figured I would do that, although I might need that iron to make some rails. I also need some gold to make some rails, because I'm going to need powered rails more than I'm going to need regular rails. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to the base, get my rail supplies, and I also need to get a couple redstone supplies while I'm there. And we'll come back and we'll start putting this rail in. Well, I put my head down, got a little bit of work done. As you can see, we started to add a little bit more detail around the outside. I think the stone and the cobblestone actually adds to the entrance here a little bit. I don't want to overdo it because we still want to have that Mesa feel. But you know, there's going to be some stone and some dirt piled up around the outside of this, you know, because you got to dig it out. You got to put it somewhere. You're probably going to bring it to the outside. Also done a little bit of work here on the inside, kind of trying to finish things up, playing around with a little bit of a floor design. Not sure if this is going to be the final way. I don't know if I want to put a stripe of something here, but that may depend on what we do with this monstrosity of a hole. So as you can see, I've replaced the iron blocks with actually stripped dark oak. I think it looks pretty good with the rest of the colors that we have in here. It's a little bit darker than the oak wood, but when you strip it, it tones it down a little bit, and I think it fits pretty well. So the next item on the agenda is to get this rail system rolling, and we're talking old school here. So it's basically a minecart starting location that I've started to get in place here. We have a dispenser with a dropper underneath, which when we power this, we have to power it twice, but once we get it powered twice, it will dispense our minecart. And then when it comes back up, it'll hit that cactus and it'll get returned right into that dropper. So when we power that dropper again, it'll get put back up in the dispenser, and we just power it again. It goes there. Now, what I don't want to have to push a button that many times to get this to work. So I'm going to have to work out that redstone a little bit, but this kind of gives us a starting area to go with our track, so that way we can start to spiral this down. Now we'll have a similar kind of setup at the bottom, so that way no matter where we are, there's a minecart. In fact, we could actually just have the one minecart be available on this track, dispense it as we need it, and go up and down as we please. All right, so I think we have our solution to our minecart transportation system. And as you can see, it's much more simple than when we last left. I was trying to be fancy with it, and you know, it's always good to try those things. But what I found was powering these rails on the way back up or on the way back down to actually get it to run into the cactus. It was going to take a little bit more than what I was willing to put into this, just because it was going to become this big thing here in the way. So I simplified it a little bit, used the powered rails to stop the minecart at the end of each side of the track, and then we can press the wood button to get us going again. So let's take the maiden voyage down the mine shaft. And as you can see, we've got all of our minecart rail in place. Everything powered by levers underneath. If you look, you can see the levers underneath here, but that's okay. I think I might want to change up these walls. It looks a little, maybe put a pattern in there to kind of give you that, like a spiral feel. But we are at the bottom. I still have the components for the dispenser mechanism in place down here. But it works. It works very well. And because it's only us, we only need this minecart, and it'll stay here pretty much forever. So now that that's all in place, we have a reliable way up and down. It's not the fastest way to travel up and down a big hole, but I think it fits in well with what we're going with. It's a mine. It's a mine shaft. I mean, mine carts. There's a couple other modifications we kind of want to put in here, and that is some storage. And I do believe I want it here at the top. So what I need to figure out is, so if we're looking at this, our mining tunnel is here. I think if we put our chests back in this way, like this, I think we can actually bring a bubble column up here. And I don't need this to be sorted. So I think we can get away with just putting in the double chests with some hoppers back here. So what I do It's kind of like this. And I may have to swap these out for stairs. In fact, I think I might do that on this side. So just to kind of give us an idea of what that's going to look like, we would have... Actually, I think we'd put our chests here instead. Just to kind of give us that level of access. And then we put our stairs just like this all across that. Then we'd have... So this part could go back in like this, right? And then we'd have chest, 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 chest. We could have a pillar, and then we could have chest, 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 chest there as well. And I think that would work out pretty well. I am going to dig this out just a little bit to give us a little bit of space to work. But basically, we're going to need to dig ourselves another hole down into the depths here and figure out where that comes out. All right, so in digging out, it actually comes down right into this corner, which is actually perfect. Because what I can do is actually, I can set a chest right here with a couple hoppers. And we could actually place, I do believe we could place a dispenser under here with a piece of soul sand on top of it. And shoot everything up to the top. Just like that. Does that make you nauseous? Yeah, so I think that should work. Now, I will need to get some... Actually, I probably have some soul sand in the ender chest. The only problem I'm going to have is kelp. I don't think I have any kelp, although I could probably go find some. But I do have plenty of hoppers. I'll need to make some chests to get everything up here. But I think we're pretty good to go as far as that is concerned. Now, the other thing we want to do is kind of finalize how this is going to look. And I may actually, I've got this dark oak. I think I might actually swap this section out for dark oak and actually take it up one more block. I like where it's placed here. But I think I want it to go one block higher. So I want it to go all the way to the ceiling there. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better there. Nice grand entrance. And what I can do from there, I do have some cobblestone and some smooth stone. I almost feel like we could actually kind of take this wall, put in a little bit of cobblestone here to kind of break it up a little bit. Definitely want to get rid of some of that. And I think that might actually make it look a little bit more miney. Miney, is that even a word? So I feel like this is a good start. There's still some details I think that we can add in here to try to make it a little bit better. I want to get these ores out of the wall, although it might be nice to have the ores in the wall, just kind of remind us, hey, it's a mine. But I do want to take this granite out, some of that dirt out, and replace it with some more of these blocks. But I think we're getting to a good point in making a decent looking mine. All right, so not to bore you guys with the digging out and placing of blocks and those Minecraft things, right? We're playing a game where we got to do those kind of things. I have put some finishing touches here, at least in the main entry of our mine. Our storage area is actually in place and ready to be used. I also put in a double blast furnace, kind of auto smelter here. Just testing it out. We've got barrels for the input and for the fuel. I've already got some fuel back from the base. And we'll take a trip downstairs just to kind of see where we're leaving things. Now, I don't think I'm fully done with the decorations down here, but I know we're getting close on time, and I don't want this to go too much longer as we have spent a lot of time just building a mining area. Well, I don't think the mine is actually finished yet. We've got to figure out a little bit here with the lip because as you were coming down this corner here, you're suffocating on that block, which it was only for a millisecond, so it's not a huge deal. But I don't want to take damage as I come down my little roller coaster into the mine. I've also added in a couple stairs here around the support beams, kind of like what we did out front, and then I put a little bit of wood floor here, just kind of gives it a separation from the rest of the mine. You know, it's like, okay, this is like the staging area. I'm getting ready to go mine. Here I go, and I'm in ugly. But I think overall, with the time that we really haven't spent on this area, I'm pretty pleased with how it's turned out, and I really, even though it's not the quickest mode of transportation, I'm really happy that I could get a minecart track in this mine and really make it feel like a mine, you know? Other than a few minor details down in the mining area, this project is complete. It is ready to go, and I cannot wait to get down in the bottoms of this mine and see what resources and riches and inventories full of stone that this place has to offer. I'm sure it's going to work out just fine for us. But that's going to have to wait because we are out of time. It has been a pleasure building a new mining area with you guys today. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and also hit that subscribe button. It would be a great help and of much appreciation. I'm going to wave my arm around because that shows some kind of emotional reaction to what I'm saying, or just like, subscribe, comment, those things. On that, I'm Joshiebear. I've got some more digging to do. I'm out of here. I'll see you later.